I'm going to talk about how it feels to be possessed by a demon. Now, I know this channel is all about getting sober and I help you guys stay sober, but with sobriety comes accepting God or a higher power. The first step in AA is usually you turn your will and your life over to the care of God as you understand them. So they go together. And I want to talk about how I was possessed by a demon because it's crucial to understand this because we are in a spiritual war and demons are real and hell is real and heaven is real. And when you're drinking, when you're getting drunk, you're opening up a portal for demons to come in and influence your actions and your thoughts. So please stay with me till the very end and like this video. It really helps the channel out. So I was about 24 and I was a heavy alcoholic. I got drunk every night. I was dating an older woman and we didn't go out much. And I was usually a homebody myself. But this night when I got drunk, I came home and I wanted to go out with her. I wanted to go for a walk. And she usually just read her book after work. So she's reading her book at the dinner table, and I come barging in through the front door, and I'm wasted. And I'm like, "Come on, let's go. Let's go for a walk." And she's like, "I don't really prefer that tonight. I'm really into this book." And I was like, "That's not gonna. No, we gotta go out." And then somehow we walked into the bedroom, and I came at her, and she looked, she was scared, she didn't know what I was doing, and I came towards her, and she had a lot of fear in her face. And usually when people are drunk and like to the point of being blacked out, they're sloshy, they can't think straight, they don't have any recollection. But when I scared her and I saw her fear, something inside of me changed, and all of a sudden I had this clarity and like super clear thinking, which is impossible how drunk I was. Super clear thinking. And I got excited. And there was something inside of me at that point that got very excited seeing her scared. And I had a thought, and it wasn't my thinking. The thought was, I'm excited. I could take her life right now. I could take her life right now. And that thought made whatever was inside of me super excited. And then all of a sudden, I snapped out of it and I became me again. And I saw her in fear and I started to cry. I'm like, "No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." And she was just like freaking out. And then all of a sudden, that thing took over me again. And I got excited and I started to smile. And got excited that I could take her life. And that went on three to four times. It was literally a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde moment. And it was like 1 minute me, 1 minute the demon. 1 minute me, 1 minute the demon. Now, later on, in later years, I started to read Derek Prince. You have to look into Derek Prince. You could buy the ebooks on Amazon. And he talks about demons, demon warfare. And in fact, going back into my childhood, we're all born sinners. And my thing when I was a very little boy was playing with myself and getting into feminine ways. Not cross-dressing, but doing little dainty feminine things. And Derek Prince talked about the feminine spirit. And what that means is that you get turned on by, acting like a girl when you're a boy and so forth. And there was one time when I I had a backyard, and I was an adult. I was living on my own, and I had a homeless guy stay in a tent in the backyard, and it was up the hill a ways. And one day I decided to check on his encampment, and I went up there, and he wasn't home. And I looked inside his tent, and there was a pile of women's shoes, Vaseline, and I was like, I was like, this has to go, and I burned down his encampment. And of course, he thought it was me and robbed my house, a week later. Didn't really take much, but the point is that could have been me. If I fed that addiction, that perversion, it grows. And if you're an addict or an alcoholic like me, I take thing the more you focus on these addictions, they grow, and they grow naturally. Most of the seven deadly sins, they grow naturally on their own. People who are greedy, they want more money, they're never fulfilled. People that are in lust, they're never fulfilled. They always have to up the ante. Maybe you can't get a buzz anymore from this technique, so maybe you're going to do this. Maybe you're going to invite more partners over to have an orgy, and maybe you just keep building it up and building it up because you want that high, but it never fills your soul. It never fills your spirit, and the only thing that can is the Holy Spirit. And I think this is great news as an addict, as an ex-alcoholic, whatever. It's very good news because my whole life has been filled with perversion and addiction, and then living in the shackles and the bondage of guilt and shame. Because I always feel bad about what I do, even if I put on a smiling face and act confident and have it all together. Deep down, I'm constantly living in guilt and shame. And those are the tools of Satan, is guilt, shame, and condemnation. So, and then the lie is, do it one more time. It feels good. You only live once, right? So you're like, just one more night, with your addictions. And it never fills your heart, never fills your soul. So later on, after that incident with that woman, and reading Derek Prince, there's been times where I have thoughts that are insanely perverted, very dark, and I don't come up with those thoughts. They just come out of nowhere, and it's demons basically whispering in my ear. Perverted thoughts I never even dreamed of. And I know that the demonic world is real because a couple times that I did meth when I was still using, it was a night of dark perversion. And let me tell you, it was 100 times, maybe 1,000 times worse than I'd ever been perverted sober. Meth is like the satanic drug of all. I mean, it is scary. Okay. People that do it, they either like do weird things like take electronics apart, or they do perverted things. It's a very dark sexual drug for some people. And so yeah, I would just play with myself all night, and literally my house would smell different in the morning. It's weird. It's real. Demons are real. And you can look up, if you want to look into this more, look up near-death experiences where they go to hell, and you will see glaringly commonalities with all these videos, all these testimonies. Hell is the same. The concept is the same. There's a different version for everyone who goes there, but the similarities are very close. There's also another video of a hole that goes to hell. It's a Russian video, and they dug a hole into the earth. It's like 7 miles deep, and they put a microphone down into the hole, and they said that they recorded the sounds of hell. You need to find that video as well and read Derek Prince. and start praying to God and ask Jesus into your life again. This isn't about church. This is about getting to know Jesus, and ask for forgiveness first, and then and seek guidance, and just say, Jesus, I want you back in my life. I know that you died on the cross for all my sins and rose again 3 days later to save the world. I want to be saved. Thank you, Jesus. And that's it. The simple prayer. I'll leave a prayer under this video. So that was my experience with the demonic entity. And I've seen them around me too. I've seen their little black shadows. You see them out of the corners of your eyes. And if you drink, you're just opening up a portal. That's why they call it demon alcohol. That's why they call it spirits. It really is a gateway. And you can watch, there's a show on TV called Jail. Watch that a few times, and you'll see people that are drunk that come in to jail, that get checked in, and they look like they're coherent. Their eyes are open. They're acting clear. They're not sloshy drunk. They're actually clear, and they're messing with people because it's the demons. Because demons have clarity, they just want to mess with you. And some of these people that are drunk that come in, they're possessed. And you can see them just messing with the guards. They're messing with the other inmates, almost like little kids, sneaky little kids just messing around. And then there's the violent ones that are just screaming, pulling their hair out, kicking the door, and they don't remember it. And when you don't remember it, that's usually when the demons are in you, controlling you. There's several blackouts that I came out of, and people were attacking me because I said something I don't remember. I mean, literally. There was one time I was hitchhiking. I was drunk, and I blacked out, and I must have said something to the driver, because the passenger and the driver were reaching around trying to hit me. And I experienced that a lot. In blackouts, completely just talking to them like I was normal, but I was gone. I was blacked out. Demons were saying whatever they wanted. And I had the demon of feminism, bisexuality. When I was drunk, anything went, anything goes, men, girls, whatever. And there's no morals. Okay. And if you're possessed by a demon, you can go as dark as there's darkness beyond our comprehension, and it's all a lie. It's dark, it's sick, there's no love, there's no God, and you eventually go to hell with just a lake of fire, and people are screaming and trying to get out of hell no matter what, and they can't. So I really don't want that to happen to you. So really consider the next time you drink, that it is a spiritual war, and if you go out and drink, the demons are basically just playing you like a puppet. They're the puppeteer, and you're the puppet. Anything can go, and it usually does. And then the next morning, it's guilt and shame all over again. So if you want to stop that vicious cycle, then read the description under this video and start walking with Jesus, because it's beautiful, it's light, it's freedom, it's amazing. The shackles come off and you feel free from bondage. That guilt and shame that I said that I felt my whole life, it's gone. I'm not masturbating anymore, which was my biggest sin. And I'm watching my mouth, and I feel good and I feel clean. I don't have to look over my shoulder. I don't have to feel guilty or shame anymore. It's absolute freedom. So try it out, and God bless, and share this video with everyone you know, because it is a spiritual war right now more than ever. We are in the end times. God bless.